So, knowledge representation is our topic of discussion. Before starting this topic, I'm giving you one example so that you could understand what is the importance of knowledge. Suppose if you meet some person who is speaking in a language which you don't know, then my question is how you will able to act on that. The same thing applies to the intelligent behavior of the machine, and sometimes it is also known as agent. So, before explaining detail about knowledge representation, first I want to explain one term that is related to AI that is known as agent or intelligent agent. So, what is this intelligent agent is all about? Intelligent agent can be anything. Human may be an intelligent agent, machine may be intelligent agent, but we have to discuss some basic property of an intelligent agent. I am giving you one diagram. Say I have a system of decision making. Say I have a system which is a decision maker system. Now, to make a decision, what this machine will need? This machine will need the first component as sensing. It needs something in terms of sensor, and another component it needs, that is knowledge. By help of this two component, this decision maker system can take appropriate decision, and appropriate decision, say, it is known as action. So here my point is a decision maker which act by sensing an environment and using knowledge. But if the knowledge part does not exist, then this machine will not take an intelligent decision, or it cannot show, or it cannot display intelligent behavior. So this decision maker is one kind of agent. An AI system is composed of this kind of intelligent agent. So my point is any AI based system comprises of this kind of intelligent agent which can sense something from the environment and which gathers some knowledge from the environment, and then accordingly it will take some decision. So what is the definition of an agent? An agent is anything that can perceive its environment. Perceiving its environment means that can understand its environment through some sensors and can act upon the environment by showing intelligent behavior. And this acting part is performed by effectors. So, one point you have to note, any agent based system will use two component, sensor for sensing the environment and effectors to show the action. I can give you one more example, that is human being is also an agent. A human agent has sensory organs such as eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin parallel to sensor, and other organs such as hands leg, everything will act like a effectors because by using their hand and legs they will perform their actions. I can give you another example of robotic agent. An example of robotic agent that replaces camera and infrared range finders for the sensors and various motors and actuators for the effectors. So these are the different kind of agent we have. But one point you have to note here, to be a agent, So to be a agent, it has the property of sensing the environment, that is known as perception, that an agent should uh, percept the environment, and the agent should act upon the environment by its action. And agent needs two components. One is sensors and another one is effectors to show their performance. And as a whole, how can I define an agent technically? An agent can be defined as collection of two components. One is the architecture of the agent, and another one is your agent program. That is the important part. These two components all together will create an agent that can perceive its environment and take necessary actions. Now the question is, what do you mean by architecture of an agent? Architecture means the machinery that an agent executes on, the machinery that is used by the agent. And agent program is some kind of implementation of some agent function. Any algorithmic implementation or function is termed as agent programming. So in nutshell, how a agent will look like, I'm giving you a block diagram. That is, say, first component is your sensor. And then using a sensor, the agent will understand how is the world like now. Means what is the meaning of the environment. The agent will sense. Afterward, what it has to do, then it has to decide what action the agent need to do. This thing the agent has to decide. And afterward, it uses effectors so that it could contribute something as an intelligent behavior to the environment. And also try to understand one point, what action an agent needs to do. It is controlled by a concept which is known as condition action rule. What is the meaning of condition action rule? Something like, if this thing will happen, then the agent will perform something. So this kind of condition action rule are used to make an agent understand that what action the agent need to do. So now the point is, this entire portion is known as an intelligent agent. This entire part comes under intelligent agent. So if this concept exists for a camera, then it is an intelligent agent. If this concept exists for a robot, then it is also an intelligent agent. So to be an intelligent agent, we have to satisfy all of these properties. And this intelligent agent is one of the component of an intelligent machine or AI machine. So we have to help this intelligent agent by supplying some knowledge so that it could perceive its environment and take necessary action. So at this point, I must say that knowledge representation is very important for an AI machine to perform effectively. Now the point is how you could make an effective AI machine. There is only one point, that is, you have to supply appropriate knowledge. You have to supply appropriate knowledge to the machine. Better the knowledge representation will be, better your machine will perform. That is, better your agent will perform. So that is the point. So for that reason, knowledge representation is very, very important. But before understanding something about knowledge representation, we have to know how many kinds of knowledge we have. So now I will talk about types of knowledge. Types of knowledge. So here, knowledge can be thought of at, they have different type. First kind of knowledge I can tell you, that is procedural knowledge. This is the first kind. I will explain it to you. Then we have some knowledge which is known as declarative knowledge. And the third category is little bit difficult, which is known as meta knowledge. Fourth category is your heuristic knowledge. And we have many more other category of knowledge, but for the time being, the last component or last category is your structural knowledge. Now, why we need this separate kind of category? See, whenever as a human being we are gathering some knowledge from the environment, then we don't have to categorize them. However, if we want to feed this knowledge to some machine, then we have to understand what kind of knowledge we are giving to the machine. This understanding will lead us to this categorization. The knowledge can be classified in other two categories. One is known as tacit knowledge, and another knowledge is known as explicit knowledge. So here please try to understand what are the different categories of knowledge. If we classify the knowledge in the broader classification, then we have these two categories, tacit and explicit. And if we break this categorization further, then we could get this kind of categorization. So now I will give you a good example so that you could understand what is the concept of this knowledge classification, because they are very, very important to understand. So for the first time, I'm just explaining what is the meaning of procedural knowledge. See, I can say that procedural knowledge is related to the performance of some task. Means, for an example, sequence of steps to solve a problem is a procedural knowledge, that I can say, right? What are the necessary steps I should take? So, say this is my problem. To solve this problem, I have to take step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. So, this kind of knowledge is known as procedural knowledge. So, whenever we are feeding some steps to the machine to perform some intelligent action, so this kind of knowledge is known as procedural knowledge. So, at that point of time, I will tell that a machine needs a procedural knowledge to solve some specific problem, because we have to provide that steps. But here, procedural knowledge is also known as imperative knowledge. Imperative knowledge. So please make a note out of here. Procedural knowledge is also known as imperative knowledge. It is generally used by modern mobile robots, where they can be planned to attack into some building or perform some navigations in a room. This kind activity will comes under this procedural knowledge. However, the next category, which is almost similar but has some differentiation, that is your declarative knowledge. Declarative knowledge is kind of a passive knowledge in the form of statements or facts about the world. That is recording a student's statements can be considered as declarative knowledge. So now, how could I distinguish between this procedural knowledge and declarative knowledge? Say I am giving you one example. Say I am telling that I have some information and I am feeding this information, whatever information I have gathered from a human being, this information I am feeding to a particular machine, so that on the basis of that information, the machine could act. Now, my question is, what kind of information I am supplying? I am recording some information from a human being and I am storing it to the machine. So, what kind of information it is or what kind of knowledge it is? So, whenever we are supplying something as a fact, as a whole fact, there is no steps involved. Just I'm supplying the fact, it means it is a declarative knowledge. Now I'm giving you another example. Say in some legal system, and this legal system has some intellectual property about some company. And this intellectual property can also be transferred when the company is purchased. So, what kind of knowledge it is? If my legal system is an AI machine and this legal system is comprises of some intellectual property of some company, and those properties can also be transferred. So, what kind of knowledge it is? Procedural or declarative? Some intellectual property means it is not just a knowledge, it involves some of the rules or some of the steps that if this happens, then this happens. So these are the rights and legal thing that is involved for the company. So this kind of thing is known as procedural knowledge. So whenever I'm talking about a legal system, that definitely comprises of procedural knowledge that can be considered as a intellectual property. So we have a very minor difference between these two knowledge, but you have to identify them. So in one word, procedural knowledge means some steps, some points are involved, and declarative knowledge means just a statement or just a fact that we are recording. Now we have to talk about another types of knowledge which is little bit difficult to understand, that is also known as meta knowledge. Now please try to understand, we have to identify this term meta. What is the meaning of meta? We have to understand. Meta means information about some information. So meta knowledge is something difficult to understand. Means a knowledge, I can give you one example. Say a knowledge engineer may utilize a different specifications. A knowledge engineer may utilize different forms of meta knowledge such as accuracy, applicability, assessment, consistency, completeness, lifespan of the project, purpose of the project. He records some of the justifications. All those properties that he is measuring as a knowledge engineer, it is a meta knowledge. Because to give you some information, it has to measure some other information. See, this person want to provide you a project. Project means a piece of information or piece of something. But before that, he has to measure the lifespan of the project, the purpose of the project, the completeness of the project. So this kind of activity is basically involved before delivering the project. So this kind of knowledge is known as meta knowledge. So in one statement, I can say it is those knowledge which are already been acquired either by human brain or machine. Means meta knowledge cannot be delivered beforehand. Means it is a knowledge that comprises of some rules, that comprises of some justifications, that comprises of some assessments, so that it could deliver some intelligent activity. So this is all about meta knowledge. So this is a special kind of knowledge that is very, very important for an AI machine to perform effectively. Now, the next knowledge is known as heuristic knowledge. So heuristic knowledge is used to make judgments, and also simply it will help us to solve some problems. And one more thing, heuristic knowledge is always acquired through experiences. For an example, say making an educated guess or intuitive judgment or common sense is known as heuristic knowledge. Means, say, I am working in this AI field for last 10 years. Right. So whenever some information is needed, what is the size of the hidden layer, or what is the size of the input layer, by viewing the data, I can perceive that what should be the uh, actual number of nodes we need. So this is actually known as either common sense or intuitive judgment, or you can say it is an educated guess. So my point is, whenever in some cases there is no fixed rule. However, some people experienced in that domain can guess that factors, and those factors comes under the heuristic knowledge. It is very important thing that you have to remember. So heuristic knowledge is something which is gathered from a specific person experienced in some specific domain. That is my point. This heuristic knowledge is also known as shallow knowledge. Shallow knowledge. It follows the principle of thumb rule, you can say. Thumb rule means there is no specific rule. It works on rule of thumb. So it provides knowledge based on the experiences it gathered during the past problem. So whatever I have experienced in the past, from that experience I am providing you some knowledge, but that knowledge is not 100% correct. It is just a thumb rule. If this happened, then this happened. So this heuristic knowledge is purely a domain based knowledge. This knowledge can only be provided by an experienced person. We have another knowledge, that is your structural knowledge. Structural knowledge means what? Means the information is organized into some complex knowledge structure. It is a kind of knowledge that is used and applied in some problem solving. So means it tries to find out a relationship between some concept and some object. Structural relationship means which object is related to which one. Means I can say that some particular department is associated, the relation is association, is associated with some university. So two objects are connected via some relationship which is known as association. So this kind of representation is known as structural knowledge. So now we have to understand the two concepts, that is explicit knowledge and tacit knowledge, why they are broader classification. Now I am giving you a very interesting diagram so that you could understand each and every point that I have explained so far. And while explaining these terms, I will explain what is the concept of tacit and explicit knowledge. So I am talking about knowledge. Now I am asking one question. Since it is a question, so I'm just writing in a diamond, that is, has this knowledge been articulated? Can I articulate this knowledge? If yes, yes, I can understand, or yes, I can represent this knowledge. If it is yes, then definitely it is an explicit knowledge. Means whatever knowledge we have, if I transfer it properly, then it is an explicit knowledge. If there is some knowledge which cannot be transferred, it can only be sensed, that I am just sensing this because it is a common sense or something like that, because we have some knowledge which cannot be represented or articulated each and every time, then we will check again why it is not articulated. Cannot be articulated. If this knowledge cannot be articulated, If not, then it is known as tacit knowledge, right? So, whatever knowledge we have in the environment, if we can represent it properly, then it is an explicit knowledge. And if I cannot represent it properly, whatever may be the reason, then it is a tacit knowledge. So, now there is one point. Any explicit knowledge comes under declarative knowledge. Why? Declarative knowledge means some statement. I can easily represent some statement, right? So declarative knowledge means we can describe this. We can describe this. We can describe this either by using some facts or using some things. Whatever may be the thing, I can describe this. And that's why it is a declarative knowledge. And also tacit knowledge means it is a procedural knowledge. It is a procedural knowledge. Why? Procedural knowledge means what? We want to do something. So doing something in a stepwise manner is your procedural knowledge. And procedural knowledge means it needs some mental skill. Mental skill. Which thing comes under which? Means which execution sequence should I follow? It needs some mental skill. So that's why procedural knowledge comes under tacit knowledge, because while robotic navigation there should not be some fixed rule, because if the robot is navigated in some hilly area, there will be some special rule. If it is navigated in some plain area, then there will be some special rule. And also those sequences may alter, because in hilly area we have some abnormal condition also. So in that case, they comes under tacit knowledge. So this is the basic relationship that we can say that. So basically, if you have one question that what are the categories of knowledge, then your first answer should be the broader classification of the knowledge will be two: explicit and tacit. If the knowledge is articulated properly, then it comes under explicit knowledge. And one of the explicit knowledge is also known as declarative knowledge, because declarative knowledge means describing something in terms of facts or in terms of things. However, if the knowledge cannot be articulated properly, it means it definitely a tacit knowledge, and tacit knowledge needs some mental skills, and mental skills can be supplied in terms of steps. So these are the steps I followed and I have got this percent of success rate. And it also following some of the procedures. So procedural knowledge comes under this tacit knowledge. So this is the very, very important point that we have to understand.